Why hello there guys, welcome back to another video. It's me, QwertyAfro. Sorry again for the little bit of a pause in uploads. It has been just very hectic for me, very busy for me currently in my life. And also it's been very hot and I've not really been in the particular mood to turn on my PC and actually have like an hour or two of just recording gameplay content. To be honest, it's been even a struggle just to game just generally anyway on my PC. So apologize that I've been away, but as you know, I am just doing uploads whenever I kind of feel like it and whenever I want to, and I'm right now in the mood. And let's check out what I'm actually going to be doing today. Thames Branch Lines is a nice little DLC that is being added to the Great Western Express, and I'm quite excited because one of the routes out of these 3 branches I used to actually drive, and I still kind of know how to drive it, but it's something I haven't done in quite a while now because I've moved into a link where I don't have to drive the Windsor and Eton, the Windsor branch, basically, the Slough to Windsor branch. Yeah, we have 3 branches available in this DLC pack. We have obviously the Windsor branch, we have the Marlow Bourne End branch from Maidenhead, and we have Twyford to Henley on Thames branch. As I said, one of these branches I used to drive as a GWR driver, and it's a shame that one of the branches that wasn't included was the Greenford branch, because that's also a branch that I used to do. But I understand why that branch wasn't actually included in this DLC, because the creator, when they were making it, was kind of like, because of the current Great Western Express, because it's based on a particular timeline where there was no Crossrail or Elizabeth line. Greenford services started and finished at Paddington, so that kind of, and the fact that this DLC was designed to be a contained DLC, so it's just only the branches. You're not driving on the actual Great Western Express. It's just kind of linking on from the Great Western Express. So the reason why the Greenford branch is not part of it, which is sad, but it's a fair reason, is because in this sort of time scale of the time frame of the Great Western Express, when the sort of like year it was set, that the Greenford branch wasn't a segregated branch where you had just services going between the current origin today, which is West Ealing, and between West Ealing and Greenford. Before the era that this Great Western Express is set in, it was the era where it was through services to London Paddington. So the creator of this DLC didn't want to put that in because it would kind of ruin the sort of contained kind of branch kind of theme of the actual DLC. Right, let's do a first drive on, let's do the Windsor branch first. Let's find a service let's commence from Slough, because that's kind of where you would start as a driver. You would never go to like Windsor and start at Windsor. Right, we're here. Platform 1. I almost had to think there. I've not been to Slough in a hell of a long time. As I said, I used to drive. Just add that in TPWS. Beautiful. Did I get that in properly or not? Nice. So AWS reset there. You'll be looking up here at this is the old TPWS panel that you would be looking to see that all the lights come off. Put that in today. Let's get the dials illuminated. We have an instructor with us for some reason, and let's release the right doors. And the procedure here at Slough would be that you would actually have a dispatcher down here that would actually, so you would get the signal, get a green signal, get the dispatcher that would give you the baton to close the doors, and then they'll give you another baton as the RA, but they'll also give you RA at the signal. So it's kind of like you get 2 kind of RAs. Let's slap that into Whiskey 15. Waiting here until 10 past till that actually comes down. It's only a quick little shuttle. This is like, I think this is the shortest branch out of all of the sort of Thames Valley branches. So this is literally just an 8-minute swig one way, and then, you know, you just change ends and you're basically departing to go straight back to Slough. And the thing is, like, as a driver, you could do a max of 8, which I've done not too many. I'm not, to be honest, in my time when I used to even sign these branches, I actually didn't drive a lot of these. I did a lot of Greenfords. Okay, that door closed. That was very, very weird. And also, what is different with this DLC is we actually finally have a 165. Because obviously all the turbos currently in the game for the Great Western Express are the 166s. So the 165s don't have air conditioning. They have all the kind of drop-down windows. Even though nowadays they do have air cooling. But yeah, that's the kind of real main difference between a 165 and a 166. And of course, 165s come in a 2-car variant, while 166s are only 3 cars. Right, normally, yeah, you would just get up to 15, let it coast. Nothing too much with this. This is such an easy kind of branch to drive, and I'll show you kind of what it kind of entails. It essentially, if it works, I don't know, like I've not driven it in a while, but it should sort of like work. So now you would literally just power up, full power. You will not get the speed limit here now is 40, then it goes to 50. You will not break 40. So you can just leave it into power. This is the good thing about sort of like these kind of accelerating trains, where you're not accelerating too fast, that you can actually just let it, like, leave the tap open, leave the gas open, and just go for it. And essentially, yeah, you just power up to 50. And I think what I used to do is I used to maintain 50 up to a certain point, and then I would coast. If I can remember. Like, as I said, it's been a while. It's been a good few years since I've actually driven on this branch. But it should work basically like how it is in real life. But it's in the summer, it's quite a nice branch. It's very touristy. Right, let's... Okay. I think I'd normally shut off around this bridge, I think. I'm going a little too fast there, that's fine. So yeah, I'd shut off, and normally I think it keeps the speed. As I said, I have not driven this branch in a hot minute, so I think yeah, no, I don't know, I don't think I did keep power. I think I just got to 50, shot off at, or I think I shot off at the golf course that's on the left. I think somewhere like either the bridge or the golf course, when the golf course came onto the sort of adjacent side on the left. And then yeah, I would just let it sort of coast now, and you know, but I believe so there's 35 now coming up, and I think I brake at the magnet to drop the 10 miles an hour. I think I brake at the magnet. Yeah, I think I brake at the magnet. We'll see if that works. And then you have your, you know, repeater signal, basically saying like that's just, you know, you're coming to like a stop. You're coming to a buffer stop. Okay, that worked. It was a bit, actually, to be honest, the brakes were a little bit too good there. Nice bridge over the Thames now. This used to be, I believe, a double-tracked railway back in the day. That's why you have like the space, equal amount of space on the other side of the bridge there, where the other kind of track went. My god, this is so nostalgic. For me, this is a bit nostalgic. Like, I can't believe, like, it's been, as I said, it's been a good few years since I've actually driven this route. And then there was something, I don't know if there was a fence or something around here that I would kind of then initiate the last bit. Somewhere around here, there was like a fence or something like that that I would initiate the last bit of braking. And that's it. And then you just coast and flow into, you might actually have to keep it in a little bit of power because there is a little bit of a gradient here up onto the ramp to the platform. But that is it. And then it just becomes an approach on site kind of thing. Yeah, very nice little, you know, simple little branch to do. And I didn't mind branches, to be quite honest. I think branches were quite nice to do. The problem is with branches is that they bundled them all together, especially like jobs that I was kind of like used to doing with like Windsor. They would bundle up kind of Windsor and Greenfords together. So you'd have jobs where you go and do like 5 Greenfords, and then you'd go and do 8 Windsors, or you do 8 Windsors first, and then you would go and do 5 Greenfords. And then the stop marker thing there, that's it. And then it will align perfectly in the cab door thing. Perfect. Let's get that tail, and that is essentially it. Tail lights got DRA on, and then I'll just shut down. Easy. Pick up my diagram, and that's it. We'd be then asking some questions, you know, people like, where's the castle, or where does this train go to Slough? Does this train go to Slough? Would get all those kind of, I've gotten all those kind of questions. And remember, this is a tourist like branch, a heavy tourist branch. All the other branches as well. I think like obviously when there's the Henley Regatta, that gets quite busy, but Windsor's definitely like purely tourists. You know, you do not, you have the commuters and stuff that use it, but it's in the summer especially, it gets heavily used by tourists. And to be honest, walking through all of this is exactly what you would have to do as a driver, coming out of the cab and having to deal with the crowds and waiting till it all kind of quiets out before you can go back here and get into the cab again. Right. Let's get. Oh no! Hold on a sec. What's annoying is that I have the game on expert mode, so it should enable my safety systems, but for some reason it just doesn't. So I'm not too sure about that. One thing in the turbo that you would do is when you initially kind of cab on and you put it into, you'd leave it in forward so it can release the brake, because if you go straight into neutral, it will keep basically the brake on. It kind of cycles through the brakes. But you would need to leave it in forward so it kind of goes. It cycles, I think, the DSD, the vigilance device, so it just basically the brakes then come off. But if you just go straight into neutral and don't let it cycle through the vigilance while cabbing on, it will just have the brakes fully on. Or do I have to lock the doors from the other end? To be honest, I've never done like a turnaround thing like this in Train Sim, but we will see. Does it go? Whiskey. Okay, so it's still showing the old timetable. Let's get that closed. Oh, okay. So that's okay. Interesting. You have to keep doing it like manually to. Oh, that's annoying. Return to free roam. You know, I'm gonna drive the next service. Yeah, I should be able to just drive the next service. Oh my god. That is never gonna just not be weird. I'm confused. I'm not sure if this is still on like the timetable thing or if it is free roam now. It's probably free roam. But that's really annoying that you can't just keep going. I lock the doors now because I've done my dwell. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Well, that works, I suppose. Yeah, all right. Don't look at me like that. So you can change ends and continue, but it just does it in its own sort of like time or whatever. So yeah, coming out of Windsor, power up a little bit, not too much 215 because we are going down a little bit of a gradient out of the station, so you will pick up a couple more miles per hour, and hopefully if I've done it right, it shouldn't break 15 and it will just go past and get to the 35, and then I don't think we can... Actually, to be honest, I don't think... I'm just literally trying to remember how I used to drive this route, but I don't think I power up after here, or I power up like with minimal power or something like that. I don't go full power, because if you go full power, I think you will... I think if you go full power, you will go past 35, so I think I go like maybe, I don't know, notch 4 in power or something like that. I think. This is really making me think about like a route I used to drive. But yeah, I think, yeah, not full power, because yeah, we're now already hitting 30, so I could even come... Yeah, I think I do very minimal power. And then yeah, essentially we're now waiting for it to pick up to 50. Well, to be honest, as soon as I go hit that speed board, I'm gonna just rip it open. I think that's what I did. Yeah, I'm just now full power. Get back up to 50. I think this way round I do just get to 50 and then just coast, I believe. Or just below 50 or something like that. And then that's the AWS for the repeater board. And then you have a nice little sign there which kind of indicates that that AWS is not for your direction. Because obviously it's a branch as well, it's a single line. So I think that's good. That's all you have to do. There's not much on this branch. You literally just power up, get to speed, coast, and you just... You know, you would never just be fully in power all the time on this. You literally just... And I think, yeah, in this direction, a little bit of a down gradient, because you kind of come up onto an embankment and onto sort of like a little kind of viaduct into the approach to Windsor. But then I believe it flattens out somewhere around here. And then it kind of, again, there's a little bit of a gradient up towards Slough. But yeah. Now I believe I start braking at the just before the bridge. If I can remember. I think this is, okay, no, yeah, this has the two, so this has the repeater signal here, and then the next signal. Quite a lot of extra signals here in this section, but it's... Essentially, because you have a siding as well on this branch, and then you can obviously get routed into the bay, or you can get routed onto the down main. That's Slough. Now that's kind of interesting that okay, well, weird AWS for that, but sure. I think I'd start braking literally just before this bridge, somewhere around here. It looks a little different than that's depicted here.
We are now approaching Slough.
And the thing is, you still have to keep the brake in here, because obviously the speed then drops to 15, so...
On behalf of the on-train crew, thank you for travelling with Great Western Railway. We wish you a safe and pleasant on.
Maybe I'll do it a little later, actually, to be honest. Because I do remember I had a point where... is there really a 1 indication for that? I thought it was B. You can show you, this shows you how long like it's been for me. Like maybe it is a 1. Yeah, might be a 1. I remember it being B for Bay, and then it was D for down main. to get routed onto platform 2. But it might be 1. Maybe I just can't remember. I've not had to think about those kind of indications. And then I just start braking at the ramp. If I can start braking instead of going into coast. And there we go. We just feather it in. It's a very kind of slow approach onto the buffers here. Go. Very nice. Into full service. DRA. Let's get the doors released. And let's switch that to tail lights. And key off. Beautiful. That's it. That is being a branch line driver right there. And then hopefully you'd get relieved, or you have like an instructor and the trainee come and wants to do a few shuttles, so they can take your last few off you, or your last one. This is something I've never been used to, doing stoppers in turbos. That's very much past my time. Anyway, that was Windsor Branch. Let's hop on to, let's do the Henley branch next, shall we? So for the Henley branch, I'm literally going to drive it only from Henley on Thames to Twyford, and then we'll hop over onto the Marlow branch, Marlow Bourne End branch, and we'll drive it from Maidenhead to Marlow. Just so I can keep the video a little bit nice. The only branch I did as a return trip was the Windsor branches. That's like, you know, a branch I actually used to drive in real life. But Henley on Thames, Marlow Bourne End, I've never been on the branch, never driven it, so I do not know anything about this route. This is going to be completely blind, and we'll just see if I can route learn on the go, essentially. So let's get all of that sorted. Now this time I'm using, so this is a 166, but this is the shortened 166 that Great Western Express uses instead of actually the proper 165 now that comes with the Thames Valley branch, because as you can see, you can tell it's a 166 body because it has it doesn't have the full like pop down windows in every window. It has the air conditioning kind of inlets and stuff like that, while the inlets for the air cooling on the 165 look a little different. But I thought I'd change it up and use the old sort of Barbie dynamic lines. Well, it's not really actually the old first Great Western livery. Right, let's get the doors open here at Henley on Thames. And I think with this branch, when there is like events like the Henry Regatta, they do put on trains that are much longer than the standard 2 or 3 car that kind of poodles up and down this branch on the daily. I think they do up to like, they do 4 cars. I don't know if they've done up to like 5 or even more. No, I think they only do 4 car running, or 5 car maybe. I'm not too sure. We have some actual stops as well to do on the way, which will be tasteful. Coming from the Windsor branch, where it's literally just end to end.
The next station is Shipley. This is a Great Western Railway service to Twyford.
I like how that signal was at red, but then as soon as I start moving, it's like an approach release signal or something like that, which they apparently do not exist in real life. But we get told as drivers that approach release signals do not exist, but they, in certain areas, I believe they do. But it's better not to treat signals as approach release, because, you know, the time you do, you'll probably you know, just get complacent and then, you know, go for a red signal. So Ship Lake is 1.5 miles. So I think I guess we can power up. The Henry Regatta on this branch gets super busy. You get a lot of outpouring of passengers at Twyford, Reading, Maidenhead, all those stations. Slough get absolutely rammed with people going, you know, onto Twyford and then onto the branch to get to Henley on Thames. So again, you have that AWS, I think it's called a, what's it called? It's like a wrong direct, it's a wrong, it's a something AWS board, but it just indicates that it's basically, it's an AWS magnet that's not associated with your direction of travel. Basically, it's for the other direction. Right, let us start braking, I suppose. Oh no, it's still a bit away. A nice level crossing warning board here.
We are now approaching Ship Lake. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
I don't know, I would start braking for this. I think I'm still good. Oh, this has a flashing thing to let you know that the level crossing gates are in use or operational. Ah, okay.
This is Ship Lake. 1541 Great Western Railway.
Quite long platforms actually on this branch, which again for the Henley Regatta. That's a very okay. So that's so the stop car marker is there, but it's not very well aligned with the mirror that you would use for your actual dispatch, which is, I think, questionably placed in the game. Because if you look in the cab, how am I looking at this? Unless you have to get up. No, even there, like, it's not actually aligned properly, because I've kind of stopped there pretty much, I'd say bang on. I don't know if the marker needs to be ahead of the train or just in line with the cab door, but that mirror ain't aligned for me to even use. So yeah, just kind of, I would use just look back.
The next station is Wargrave. This is a Great Western Railway service to
So it's a red oh, so the red, no, there wouldn't be any more signals then, I think. But the route is very, like, well, the detail and stuff of just in-game looks really good. Obviously, the only route I can sort of kind of like comment on, obviously, is the Windsor branch that I signed, and that looked all pretty detailed and kind of spot on of what I would have normally seen as a driver. But I guess it's a nice add-on. It's a nice add-on to have these kind of like segregated little branch lines. It's just a different type of driving, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? Oh god. Oh, so there's a... Oh, so this is like a... Oh, okay, so like a viaduct over the Thames, I see. Nice. Even though branch work can be a little bit boring, it's at least you get to go for a nice part of the world. obviously certain branches like the Greenford branch, I wouldn't say is like the most picturesque, like, you know, stunning locations that you're going through, like, you know, Drayton Green and Castle Bar Park and South Greenford. Not really anywhere I'd want to go on holiday. Yeah, I don't know. These stop car markers aren't lined.
This is Wargrave.
Because I've...
Try to board or leave the train. Great Western Railway Service.
I'm pretty much bang on with the cab stop marker, but yeah, the mirrors are not lined up. They're not actually lined up with the actual driver. I think obviously whoever's like, I'm not gonna nitpick here to the actual developer, but I think if you going forward, if you want to take a note, is wherever you put the stop marker, you have to account where the driver's gonna stop, and I'm stopping to line it up in my sort of like quarter light windows or my cab door windows on either side. So I've stopped that pretty much bang on where I would stop it in real life, and then that mirror would have to then be like ahead. It shouldn't, that mirror should not be before the cab stop marker. It should definitely be like after it. So that's my kind of only nitpick right there, because it's just, I can't do it. Like, obviously I'm not going to do a dispatch with it, because if we actually go outside here, yeah, that mirror isn't going to do anything in game, but it's just a little nitpick of like just something just to point out to the realism of like how it would actually be sort of like located. One thing I've noticed as well, and I don't know if this is just
The next station is Twyford.
the train closed doors on turbos do not illuminate. So these do not illuminate. The only thing that you get an indication for interlock is this on this fault indication panel. There is no lights here, and I don't know why Dovetail even have originally done it where when you like open doors, close doors, it illuminates the buttons. There's no buttons in here in this cab that illuminate. The only buttons are these on the fit panel, this general fault light, the wheel slip protection button lights up, the compressor, no that doesn't, the sounding available thing lights up, and even the signal buzzer button, that does not light up. And these only light up when you actually activate anything on the safety panel. And then the PASCOM alarm and the safety isolation kind of thing, those are the only things that light up. And obviously the like the destination, the speedometer and the train FX kind of panel. Those are the only kind of things that actually light up in the turbo cab. So I've always find it a bit weird every time I sort of drive a turbo in Train Sim World. I'm just like, why are these things lighting up? They do not light up. Right, Twyford. And I have no idea where I brake to lower to 25 miles per hour. This is all just a guess from me. Let's say about here. Okay, maybe a little bit more brake. A lot more brake. So I guess we curve round and we go round, and then it's like a car park kind of situation at Twyford. No, not a bad little branch, Henley. Said never been to Henley, never been to Marlow or Bourne End. I've driven like routes out of Reading to like Gatwick and to Basingstoke, which obviously is not my jurisdiction, as being like a Paddington-based driver or London-based driver.
We wish you a safe and pleasant onward journey.
Oh my god, we lose a lot of speed here. But I understand we're going to go down to 10 miles an hour now when we come into the platform. But wow, is it really 1.5% gradient? That's quite a bit of a gradient there coming into the approach to the station. Wow. I'm gonna keep a little bit of power, to be honest, because 1.7, wow. I never realized there was quite a bit of a gradient on this approach. That's quite interesting. Alright, there we go. Pulling in nicely here. Platform 5. Ooh, a little bit tight. Look at me put him. There we go. Tail lights on. Little too close for comfort there. But we are done. Yeah, little oh, I can't go outside the station, damn. Yeah, little you know, it's to the extreme there. But yeah, that was the Henley on Thames branch. Let's then just wrap up and do the Marlow Bourne End. Right, we are here at Maidenhead. Again, there's a lot of cabbing on and just changing locations in this video. Probably the most I've ever done in one. Let's get everything sorted. Now, one thing with this branch, let's say every branch has like a bit of a like a unique kind of trait. I don't know if this is simulated in this. I don't think it's simulated, but oh, it is. Oh. So yes, this branch runs off token block. So I'll take my token, and then you would call the signaler to be like, yeah, I'm whatever head code. I've received the token. I've taken the token out of the machine. And then obviously when you get back, you then put the token back and then tell the signaler that the token's been received at the machine. Nice little unique trait there of this branch, and a very sort of, I would say, archaic, a very sort of archaic Victorian bit of technology that's still in place there. So we have to wait till 12:30 for departure. Now this is the only branch out of all the branches that is actually guarded in real life. So it wouldn't be DOO, it wouldn't be drive only. And we would have a guard that would close the doors and dispatch us. But obviously that's not simulated in this game, so we will do our own dispatching. Right, let us rock and roll to first plat. As we both depart, one turbo service is going to London, and we are going to Marlow.
The next station is First Plat. This is...
Right,
1 mile. This is... 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 1 mile. This is...
sluggish. Well, then again, turbos are so hit and miss in terms of performance. You have some really nippy ones, and then you have some that they just do not want to move. Right, so nice 50 miles per hour out. This, I think during the day, normally this shuttles between obviously Marlow and Maidenhead, and then there's a sort of stub end at Bourne End, which is kind of like a shunt back kind of station. So you would kind of go into it, change ends, and then you would go off on a little sort of branch neck to Marlow from Bourne End. And I believe in the peak time, so in the morning peak and in the evening peak, they run a thing called the kind of Marlow Donkey, which is basically an extra unit goes on to the branch, and then because there's 2 platforms at Bourne End, one train will get to Bourne End and then we'll go to Marlow, and then one train will be going between Bourne End and Maidenhead, and just both those will go back and forth, so they can basically link together and keep like a sort of, I think it's a 15-minute interval, I think. Oh, but I have to say the foliage is very dense on this route. I love it. Obviously, foliage is a pretty bad thing at the moment on the railways. We've been having a lot of, not on my network, but just generally in the sort of like whole railway, there's been a lot of wildfires caused because of the heat. And there is a lot being done with foliage. There's a lot of like kind of vegetation kind of management and stuff like that is going on continuously by Network Rail. But foliage is it looks pretty, it looks nice to have all of the plants growing and flourishing, and it all looks just, you know, wild and beautiful, but it is a huge issue on the railway. Obviously fires being one thing with the kind of heat that we've been having, but the thing is, when you have things overgrowing on the tracks and in the sleepers, it kind of compromises the integrity of the equipment, and also the sort of the dampening and stuff of the track, because you're going to have like roots and stuff and soil and whatever getting them mixed into the kind of ballast treatment. Oh, I need to be at 10 miles per hour. I think there's some level crossings on this route as well. So let us hopefully have timed that okay to get down to 10 miles per hour. Oh, I have not. Okay, now I have. There we go. That's interesting. That board there with the X and the 10. It's a kind of wrong. So it's a wrong direction speed board for going over a level crossing, which is a bit weird on a branch line, because obviously there's no wrong way on a branch line. You just go. It's bi-directional. You're just going either way. So I'm a bit confused, like why you would have one way at a lower speed and one way at a higher speed. Because normally you see that in places where it's mainly like on double tracks, where if you have a bi-directional line, or if you have like a place where you can do like wrong direction movements, you would then have that board there to like basically indicate what kind of speed you should be doing in the wrong direction on a bi-directional line, or even on a non-bi-directional line as well. Is that a 2-3 board there? Really? Very interesting. But this is a little bit, well, I think this is a little bit better in terms of placement of the mirror. Because yeah, if I pulled up just a smidge a little bit forward, I'm a little bit undercutting this stop car marker, but you would be able to kind of view this mirror from your cab window. But I'm a bit perplexed why the 2-3 marker is here, considering a free car. Actually, to be honest, I'm not sure if free cars are permitted on the Marlow branch. They might not be, actually. because that already kind of indicates there that one of the coaches would be kind of hanging off the platform. But I think in this case it would be like a 2-stop marker and then probably a 3-stop marker, 4-stop marker, whatever. I think the max, I don't know if the max is 3 car on the Marlow branch, or maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3 car to Bourne End, and then only 2 car to Marlow potentially. Because I think the turnback platform at Bourne End can only accommodate a 2 car, so a 2 car can only go to Marlow, and then you can have more cars. I don't know what's the max, if it's 4 or 5 or 3 to Bourne End only. So it's only First Plat, Cookham, and I think then it's Bourne End and then Marlow. But let me know what your thoughts are on these branches. Would you consider picking up this DLC? I think a nice little bit. It's quite detailed, and if you like this sort of stuff, if you're not really a person that's into the sort of longer distance stuff and prefers the sort of like shorter, nuanced stuff with a little bit more detail and maybe not as much speed, I see this being a nice little play. It's a nice little, just like if you fancy just doing a little bit of shuttling around, why not? And I ain't mad at it. It's quite nice. And you get technically you get a new train. I don't know. I think this 165 here it is new. Because there are subtle differences between the 166, especially as well in the cab. There's a little bit of differences with the kind of paneling and stuff where the speedo is. Right. Let's begin some braking, I think. As I said, I don't do these routes. Never been on these other 2 branches. So I am purely guessing here where I would sort of start braking. Yeah, look at that. Nice detail, football pitches, people walking around. Quite nice. Housing and stuff. Why is it like an instructor with me or whatever? Or just another driver? Or it's like Network Rail inspecting the track or something like that. You never know. Cookham. Hopefully the stop here, this looks like end of the platform sort of business. See, this is a lot better for the mirror, because you can the position of that you would be able to see this in real life, the way you're sort of seated in the train. You would be able to see, or just move over to look through the other sort of through the other kind of windscreen. Look at this, quite nice bit of detail. A lot of passengers. A lot of passengers. Wait for white light and whistle before proceeding. Yes. Right. Nice little toot as we proceed over Cookham level crossing.
The next station is
I also like that the the detailing with the station like signage and the font and the branding is a bit more like it's obviously to the sort of modern new GWR sort of standard, which is nice. It's nice to see like that sort of attention to detail, because obviously the Great Western Express does not have that kind of newer GWR brand. It still has the very much the old kind of Barbie First Great Western branding, even though there are the newer green livery Great Western kind of HSTs and turbos for that route. You don't really see any of that sort of branding around the stations, so it's nice seeing that on this particular like segregated bit of DLC. Right, we got a PSR warning board for 15 miles per hour into Bourne End station. And this turbo I'm driving is really sluggish. It's like we're even going down a gradient and I'm like powered up and it's struggling. Which I don't know if that's a disparity or a difference between the 165 and the 166. I don't know if this has been tweaked a little bit. Because I believe 166s, I don't know if 166s have a higher top speed. I don't know if they both have max speed of 90 miles per hour. And I believe their acceleration timings are exactly the same.
We are now approaching Bourne End. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Oh, it's a lovely approach. And again, going over the Thames, because Thames Valley Branches. Alright, that is perfect. D, I'm guessing for the platform that we can turn back in and go to Marlow with, and then I don't know what the other indication would be for the other platform. But you can see that obviously one platform is longer, so it can I think free car is probably the max for up to Bourne End, and then for Marlow it's max of 2 car. As you can see, the platform here is considerably longer on the just the Maidenhead Bourne End shuttle side. Is that a train spotter? Oh Jesus Christ! They put them in the game. I don't know how I've not noticed that yet. I like how one side doesn't have a buffer, like it's just a concrete wall, and then one has the actual like just normal red buffer. There we go, DR rate on. Let's get that in neutral. Put that in full service. Get the taillights on, and that's it. Let's just cab off then. And I believe there's like a ground frame here or something like that. This is not like, I don't think these are electric points. I think there is a ground frame and like, I believe, yes. So yeah, you would activate. Oh, do I put the token in? Token in, yes. So that will activate the branch now to Marlow. So we have like full protection of the branch line or single line to Marlow, and then I think we take the staff. Yes, so it's token up to here, and then you put the token in to get the protection onto that line, and then you take the staff, and then you contact the signaler. I hope that's enough to just. Oh, let me close the door. Actually, we don't want this interesting looking train spotter to get in there. Ah, there we go. B for branch. Very nice. And then obtain token or obtain token or staff. Oh, staff is in the baton thing that took. I read that as just like obtain like staff, like a staff member. Like who am I having to obtain with me? Perfect. I'm guessing that's all hunky-dory. Yes. Close the doors. Re-register GSMR again. And there we go, Marlow, back. So this process was a lot more easier than changing ends at, like, Slough. At Windsor. At Windsor, it just kind of bugged out a little bit on me. But here at Bourne End, it's a seamless task. Because I think obviously the timetable is literally Maiden into Marlow, so it just factors that in. While at on the Windsor branch, it's literally just Slough to Windsor, and then it's like the next timetable thing comes into play. Oh, we have another level. There's so many level crossings on these branches. There's so much interaction between them. And again, wrong direction speed for the level crossing. So it is technically, but then the thing is, this approach into Bourne End, it wouldn't be more than 15 miles per hour in the other direction as well, so. Oh, quite a small little, looks like it's someone's drive or something into like some garages. Oh, there's two. Double whammy of level crossings. And then, oh, very nice. Like, love this. It's not bad. Not bad little. Yeah, it's a lovely part of the world. This. We can now get to 40. Let's pump it up. Last little speed stint before our final destination. Oh, boat club. We're really just like running by the river now. That's really nice. That's really nice. In miles per hour, really? Why is that 10? Oh, is that like an unmanned? Oh, forget it. I wasn't ever gonna do that. It's very pretty down this neck of the woods. Sulu lighting circuit breakers tripped. Check. What? Saloon lighting. Saloon heat. Saloon. Look at me. Oh, that's just saloon lighting. You would sort that at the next station. If it was an MCB, you would just, you know, hand up, flick back. Hopefully, it reinstates. It's not the worst problem in the world to have just some lighting, especially in the daytime. If it was nighttime, I would be a bit more concerned, but in the daytime, it's like absolutely fine. Oh, this is quite a nice little route to Marlow. But imagine just being on this like Marlow donkey, so you're just doing Bourne End between Bourne End and Marlow. Right, what? Why AWS was that? That must have been for something in the other direction. But we need to start braking for this. Oh no, it's for this repeater signal thing. Banner repeater signal. Homing signal, whatever it's called. But that's pretty obscured. I'd report that to the signaller in real life. If I couldn't see that and I can only see it when I just literally pass it, I'd report that. Look at that. Look at that detail. Nice little door open up there on those stairs. Very nice.
We wish you a safe and pleasant onward journey.
Love the announcements as well. Just adds a little flavour as well. There we go, Marlow. A lot of people waiting. Right, that is beautiful. Why do I see TFL branding signage? A bit weird. Let's open doors. Put the tail lights on. I'm good. That is top notch. Yeah, why is there a TFL way out sign all the way up here in Marlow? Like, what? And a lot of, like, what is this? This isn't rush hour. This is literally 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't know why people are just rushing crazy. Anyway, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this kind of checking out the Thames Valley Branches DLC with me. And I've enjoyed it. It's been a nice little runabout, nice little drive about. It was nice to get a kind of refresher back on the Windsor branch, a branch I used to drive in real life. But also really nice to see what actual Reading drivers get up to on the Marlow branch and on the Henley branch. Quite nice little routes near the River Thames, and yeah, and I think anyone that's interested in this kind of like you know, again, shorter, slower style of driving, I think it's a good pickup. I think the developers done a good job with the sort of detail and stuff on the route. I like that the you can use like the token and the staff, the baton interlocking system, which is really, really cool. Pretty damn nice, I have to say. Not too bad, not too shabby. As I said, my only complaint was some of the positionings of the dispatch mirrors. The look back mirrors at some of the stations don't kind of like align properly with where you would stop, or with the cab stop markers. But that's my only sort of like kind of gripe. And I like that we actually get do you want to give control of the, yeah, give control, take over. I don't mind. But I like that we also get a 165 sort of a proper better 165 variant than just the sort of kind of rehashed 166. Oh, driver just cabbed on and cabbed off. Whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, sorry about the kind of gaps, but it's basically whenever I kind of feel like recording, and today I felt like recording the Thames Valley Branches for you guys. This comes out, I believe, on the 21st of July, and I think I'm just going to try and upload it the day before that I can, because I get free access to it as part of the Dovetail Ambassador program. So I'll just I'll release it whenever early access I can, so to give you guys a little preview glimpse before it actually comes out for everyone. But hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys when I see you in another one. Take care and have a lovely day. Bye bye.